This is the Crescendo Music Education Podcast, episode number 91. This podcast is being recorded on the lands of the Turrbal people. I acknowledge them as the traditional owners of the land and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. They were the first music makers on this land. Welcome to the Crescendo Music Education Podcast, and today I get to chat with Clare Finlayson again. I loved the last episode with her, episode 90. If you missed it, you can pop back and listen to her bio and get a bit of background on her. In this episode, we're jumping straight into talking about Instagram. She's got a very useful Instagram page you might like to get in and follow. It's called Choir with Clare. I'll make sure the link is in the show notes. We're going to talk about some of her favourite choral pieces and choral conductors, as well as her nuggets of fabulous and advocacy ideas. So enjoy my chat with Clare Finlayson. And I would like to welcome again to the Crescendo Music Education Podcast, Clare Finlayson. Hello, Clare.
Hello. Good to be back.
I wanted to get you back mainly to talk about your Instagram page. It is quite wonderful, different.
Oh, thank you.
Different, you know. I will put the link in the show notes, but it's basically choir with Clare. Sorry, choir.with.Clare, Clare.
Yes,
so,
no I.
Yeah, so if you do not have the show notes, so don't pop in there, you can look up choir with Clare, choir.with.Clare with no I. Okay, so tell us about it. I want to just say it's really pretty.
Thank you. And for anybody who has not discovered Canva, please discover Canva. It has changed my entire life.
Yep.
I love it. I choose to pay money to these people because they earned it. They have earned my hard-earned cash, but you can also have a free account, which is where I started, and it's amazing. Canva, do it, yes. Everyone.
And
now.
The free, if you are a teacher, when I, very early on in the piece, I contacted Canva and said, do you have an affiliate program? I want to blah, blah, blah. Like, no, you're speaking to one of the biggest Canva fans in the world. And if you are a teacher, you can get an education account. And you can get almost all the pro features for that. But yeah, seriously, if you're not in Canva, just get there. So tell us about that. Yeah, I want to hear more about how you came up with the branding and all the colours and stuff too. So yeah, we need to talk content, but I want to talk pretty too. Okay.
Deal.
Okay.
Deal. So the whole concept, if I start with the concept, I have no formal choral conducting training. I have not done a university degree of any type. I have done a university degree of any type. I have my Bachelor of Music and my Bachelor of Education.
Okay, which is good because you are teaching officially, so it's probably good that you have a qualification.
It helps. Yeah, just a little bit. So I think in my undergraduate, I had a semester of conducting. So I had a conducting subject in my uni degree. But, you know, for anything on paper, nothing direct. So everything that I've come across, I've either done by trial and error, or I've been extraordinarily fortunate to have had just so many generous mentors. And look, I'm going to name drop because they deserve to get a shout out. Yes. So Justine Favell, Julie Christensen, Paul Holly and Peter Ingram have just all been massive rocks in my career and have been so generous and patient with their time and their knowledge, and I've just been so grateful for having them in my life. So I'm very aware that my skills and my knowledge aren't my own. You know, I haven't made them up. I'm not anything revolutionary. I am a custodian of something that has been passed on to me. And so I feel the need, obligation is not the right word because it seems like it's unwilling, the willing obligation to pass on this knowledge to others because I have been gifted that myself. So I need to pass on the gift. And then when I was sort of thinking about how to do that, you know, I've had student teachers, I have people that I'm helping with their conducting, and I see with them. But on a bigger scale, how, you know, social media was one that quickly came to mind, and I decided to go down that road because I know how hard it is to get to PDs, and then for, you know, most choral conductors, at least in the school system, are classroom music teachers, and someone has turned around and said, hey, we have a choir, can you do that? Whether they have any vocal or choral training, you know, and of course most people jump in and say, yeah, of course, I'd love to do that. But then to try and get to a choral conducting specific PD is even harder than getting to a music teaching or just a teaching PD, because sometimes the school doesn't necessarily value those skills and they would prefer you to do something that's part of your classroom work. So I thought, if I can make this as passively easy to just absorb like a sponge, then I want to try and do that for people. If they have somewhere to go that they can go, right, I have this problem, is there anything on this page that might help? And so that was kind of where it all began. And then the pretty, I like teal and aqua. They're just colors that I like. And I think in the last episode I mentioned that my sort of self metaphor is that I am the bowerbird of choral conductors, because, like I said, I have just picked up things from people I have seen. Oh, I like that, I don't like that. So I've just picked up lots of shiny things. So you'll see lots of birds on my page and kind of different candy pop colors, and that's sort of my love to my little bowerbird personality.
Oh, I did not know that. That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Now look, I'm splitting my screen here. I'm going to get up your Insta page. Oh, so what is it? Maya dot with dot Clare no I. Oh, how about a C? Okay. I mean, I have liked you, so obviously I'm following you.
Yes.
Oh, that goes without
Thank you for that.
Okay, come on, click. Here we go. Choir with Clare. There we go. Oh, look, the birdies are so pretty. So what I've noticed about the page is so not so much you're talking about people can go in and think, like they might have an issue and they're thinking, I wonder what I could do about this. Because what I had noticed about your page is just how useful the repertoire suggestions are.
Yes.
So,
and I should apologize to anyone who is following me, because I have somewhat fallen off the face of the earth with this.
What's your excuse?
Past couple of months.
What's your excuse? You know,
I have this very small blonde child who is like this far away from walking, so just my life is just, oh, don't bump your head, oh, don't bump your head, oh, don't bump your head. So I will get back to it.
No. And you do know I was being sarcastic. I do think that,
of course, yes,
new parenthood is obviously a fairly good excuse. All right. So I'm going to open one of these because I really like that you've got these. So I'm going to open a parcel of care because that's one of my favourites, because
it makes me cry a bit, that song. Catherine really hitting the truth button, hitting the emotions.
Yeah. And So good. I don't know if I mentioned that one particularly in my podcast chat with her, but we now do that because she works at our school. Every Anzac ceremony we sing this.
Gorgeous.
And it's just so relevant for little people because it
is.
just hooks into something that they can connect with. Rather than soldiers dying in trenches, and which I'm not saying we should hide from them. It's just, so those of you
it's
who
a way
don't
to help them connect with it. It's
yes,
age appropriate for their type of processing.
exactly. And for those of you who don't know the song, and in case I didn't talk about it with Kath many months ago, probably a year or more ago, it's about the parcel of care that used to go, that the families would put together and post to their loved ones serving overseas. So, and where Anzac biscuits apparently came from because they lasted a bit longer. And they'd put in a photo and, and so it's a song about creating this parcel. So you've got several pages. So the first page is the beautiful title with the little, it's just a thing of beauty. I have to stop saying that. Then you've got your summary, an age-appropriate Anzac song that doesn't undermine their intelligence. Oh, I love it. Oh, you realise I've not looked at this before. Is it bad to be talking about something I've not even looked at?
It's all good.
Okay. And I like over here, Australian composer alert. Okay, in the comments. Now, then this little table, it's so clever. You've got voicing, length, mood, range, accompaniment, and suitable for. Do you use those same headings or do they alter slightly depending on the repertoire?
No, so every repertoire post that I've made has those exact same headings.
So you're thinking, I'm looking for something. This is 5 to 8 year olds, perfect for Anzac. And you go, I actually wanted something for 15-year-olds. This probably won't do it.
Flick, move on to the next one. Exactly.
So useful. Voicing, unison. No, I'm after 3 parts, whatever. So I think it's so useful. So I'm scrolling across on the same post, by the way. Those people. Yeah. And then you've got something about the subject matter and musical challenges. And then your nice choir with Clare at the end. So if people are looking for repertoire that they might not have considered, they can just literally browse on your Insta page.
Yeah, and that was kind of the point is, I mean, finding repertoire is a very time consuming job. So I kind of thought if I can give recommendations, like I know that these pieces have worked for me, and even if it's not a song that necessarily speaks to you, it might give you a door to a new composer or a new website that has music on it. It was just kind of trying to help take some of the time out of that process for people.
Because it is so time consuming. And it's what, when you're doing classroom music teaching, it's such a huge job. Choir is a tag on, an add-on, and it shouldn't be, but it sort of is. I feel great guilt for my beautiful grade 1-2 choir. I think I should. I know you shouldn't should on yourself. But I should spend so much more time searching for repertoire, preparing my rehearsal, doing the warm-ups to cater for the tricky bits. I know they're going to, I know in theory what to do, have sort of done it in the past, and I sort of do it, but I just don't have the time to focus. And I think that's the treat of having a job like yours. You get to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's your focus. And the classroom teacher, it's the add-on.
Exactly. You've got a full-time job and then this extra appendage that you have to, also prepare for. And sometimes I don't think, if you haven't taken an ensemble yourself, you don't know how much preparation has to go into a rehearsal or choosing repertoire. Like there's no way to explain it
Mm-hmm.
to someone, you know, you
Nope.
just have to experience it. So yes, it is a lot. It is a lot of time finding repertoire, and I believe you me, I know.
Mm.
I know that it can just be a quick, what's worked before? Quick, just pull that one out of the filing cabinet. Let's go. We've got
Yes.
enough photocopies of that one. We'll do that one.
Do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why this Insta page of yours is wonderful. So what else can we find? Repertoire. What else have you got in there? It looks like you've got warm up, phrasing,
Mostly, yeah,
suggestions.
mostly it's repertoire at the moment. I do intend on putting some videos of warm-ups up there. I've also got some time-saving tips and hacks in the work,
Oh,
and like vocal technique stuff.
mm,
And I think I've already posted. There's one up there that talks about how long someone can breathe out, because singing is breathing out, right? So how long someone who has no singing training can actually do that depending on their development. So obviously a 6-year-old is not going to be able to sing a phrase for as long as a 30-year-old. But there's an actual, science there. And I know when I learnt this information, it just totally changed the way that I approached the breathing in my ensemble, because I suddenly knew, oh, they physically cannot do that. I need to find another spot for them to take a breath, and good breathing equals good sound. So it was just really quick fix. That was, it was
I
amazing.
like this one. Oh yeah, I found it. I found it. I'm going to read that one. Okay, good. I need to spend more time on your page. So look, I think that's great. We're looking forward to you having time to
Me too.
to do that little bit more. But what you're doing is more important. Looking after that little one is much
Yes.
more important. But hopefully, lots of other people will find that and connect with you and follow. And we wait with bated breath for the next ones. So, what do you think? What would you say are your favourite choral pieces and favourite composers? Now, I'd like to think some of them are Australian. We've got our guys are unique. There's just something. Maybe I love it because I'm Australian, but
Yes. Yep.
there is a unique quality. So before you answer, just my take on the Australian composers I love, and I've chatted to a few of them on my podcast. I'm really lucky. But a lot of them are good storytellers. I love the ones that tell stories, like the one we were just talking about with Kath Riley, telling the story of the
Yes.
little people, sending their love to the soldiers overseas. Paul Jarman with the Journey of Shackleton.
Yes.
Just
Yeah.
the story element is often unique with our Australian composers. That's one of my little thoughts. What about yours for composers, compositions?
Yeah, it's interesting you said that. I was just sort of, I wonder what it is culturally, because I absolutely agree that a lot of Australian choral music is very story based, whereas perhaps like American choral music is more emotionally based. I would
Mm.
probably just off the top of my head sort of say. So I wonder what it is culturally that sort of makes that happen. I mean, when you say favorite composers, I mean, has Dan Walker ever written a song that wasn't an absolute banger? I mean, every single piece that Dan Walker writes, I'm just like, well, this is my new favorite piece of
Yep.
music.
Yep.
And that's like, there's millions of them now. Um,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely love Dan Walker.
Yeah.
Luke Byrne is another composer, an Australian composer that I've come across fairly recently. And he is a great storyteller. Specifically, a piece that I've done of his recently, performed, not conducted, was The Foundling. And if you can find a recording of The Foundling by Luke Byrne, it's just this beautiful, I'm pretty sure it's from like a Grimm's brother fairy tale that he's used, but it's just beautiful. And he is currently studying, or has just completed study in London for musical theatre composition. So a lot of his choral composers have a little bit of a theatrical vibe to it, and the stories are, you know, very well told. And yeah, I really, really love his music. I mean, for littlies, I love Catherine's music for really young kids, and Sherelle Isles. I really love her music for young kids as well.
Yeah.
I will go and yeah, check out her piece. I mean, I'm in a high school setting, so and it's an all-girls school, so finding treble music for high school girls can be a little tricky sometimes, because a lot of treble music is written for primary school aged students. But Sally Whitwell, who is another fantastic Australian composer, her website is just love her music. And then because, you know, the other aspect of my life is Resonance of Birralee, so which is a university SATB choir. So you know, Jake Runestad is a composer who is a Canadian composer. I may have that wrong. Sorry, Jake. I'm pretty sure he's Canadian. He's just stunning. His music is just stunning, and particularly a piece called Come to the Woods. If you can find Come to the Woods, or my other favorite of his is Let My Love Be Heard. I am not allowed to listen to Let My Love Be Heard anymore because I cry every single time. It is just so stunningly beautiful that my husband's like, right, when you're driving, you are not allowed to listen to that piece of music anymore, because he's worried that I can't see with all tears in my eyes. But yeah, Jake Runestad is a big favorite of mine.
Wow.
For that SATB sound. Is that enough? I can keep going. This is like asking me to choose my favorite child, and I only have one child, so you know.
So yeah, there's so many, and I've got to chase up some of these too.
Please do.
Wonderful. Now, we didn't talk about this in the our previous episode, but I really do like to ask for nuggets of fabulous.
Great.
So your favorite tips, tricks, ideas and stuff, and like in the episode, our last episode, you talked about the post-it notes with the why. Like there was so many things that I reckon already are nuggets of fabulous, but I still like to give all of the people I chat to an opportunity to go, this is what I would like to share with you. So if you were doing a PD, here's a few tips, tricks, favorite songs. So you've already shared that already. So if you had any nuggets of fabulous that you'd really like to share with us, now's the time.
I have three.
Yeah.
If that helps.
Yes, please. Three. Let's go.
Three time-saving tips that I hope will help.
Yes, please.
So we were talking earlier about how long it takes to find repertoire. Takes forever. So I have found, I just have on my phone the Notes app, and I have a list of reps. So when I'm searching for repertoire, if I come across a piece and I go, I love this piece, but it's not right for this ensemble, this concert, or whatever it is, I write that piece down so that I can find it again. So I just have a list of music that I've found in other searches that wasn't right for that time, so that when I have to find repertoire again, that I go to that list first and go, right, do any of these pieces fit? Past Clare has helped future Clare.
Yes.
And we always like that.
So we love past Clare. We love past Clare.
Love past Clare when she's being proactive. Future Clare being proactive. Future Clare is really happy with proactive past Clare. So I would suggest everyone take this on. It has absolutely changed my working life just to have that list, and you just type it on your phone, name, composer, whatever voicing it might be. So I have that list. Another time-saving tip that, again, love a quick, easy change to my life is, and this is actually a Paul Holly one that I have stolen. I call it my warm-up Bible. So it's just a notepad. Yes. And anytime I've come across a bloody warm-up, I write it down.
Yes.
And I take my notepad with me.
You
have a warm-up Bible too?
I stole that from Paul. I stole it from Paul.
Yes. Yeah. And it changes everything, right? I mean, warm-ups are the bane of my existence. I love them. I do them because they're important. But oh my gosh, I can't keep all that information in my brain, and I'm supposed to be doing this at 7 o'clock in the morning. Ew. No. Warm-up Bible. Take it out. Right. These are the warm-ups that we are doing today. Brilliant. I don't have to think about it. I'm even specific to the point where I'm like, start this exercise on an F. To that point where I don't even have to think about what key I need to do it in, because I don't know how functional I'm going to be morning to morning. So again, proactive past Claire, helping future Claire. We love it. So that's number 2.
Love
and
it.
Then my third one is to help with, you said earlier before that you wish you had spent more time planning rehearsals and stuff like that. And it's so true. I mean, even in my job where my whole entire life is dedicated to singing and choir, there are still absolutely days where I don't think about that rehearsal until maybe the 15 minutes before that rehearsal starts. It happens to all of us.
It's called life.
It's called life, right? And I know the best time to plan a rehearsal is immediately after the rehearsal you've just taken has stopped, right? While everything's still in your head and you go, right, we need to do this, we'll work on this, let's try this. But when is that going to happen? We've got, Jerry who wants to tell you about your cat, and this kid's got water polo, and you get distracted, and then you've got 10 minutes to get to the loo, and you've got to go to your next, whatever it may be, class. So I now, in every single folder that I'm a post-it note fiend. I have post-it notes in every single folder. At the end of a piece, when the kids are getting their new music out, I will just quickly jot down things, take that post-it note, stick it on the piece of music, tuck it in my folder. So the 10 minutes before my next rehearsal, I just get out the music and I go, oh, that's right. We need to start here. We need to do this. We need to do that. And then I can just shuffle on my stand, put it in order. Right, there's my plan for today.
So what you might write something like altos bar 29.
Oh my God. Yes.
Do you know?
Exactly.
Specific, or something like tell the story, ! Or like anything that you think.
Anything, whatever you think, when you get to that end and you go, we need to still work. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Section B is, we need to work on section B. Tone, with vowels. Sometimes I just have a big post-it note that says vowels.
Vowels, yeah.
Stick it on that piece of music. That's what we need to do. So yeah, whatever it is you think you need to work on, because it's freshest when you're doing it, right? When you're making the music, that's when all of that information is going through your head. Jot it down, stick it on the piece of music, and then it's there for next week, and you're not having to try and recall what it is you did last week, because an entire week, which is, in teaching world, is essentially an entire lifetime has happened between rehearsals, right? So that has really helped my life as well, just to take some of that mental load.
That's revolutionary, but it's so logical.
Post-it notes, man.
Doesn't that make sense?
Yes. And make it easy on yourself.
Yeah.
Post-it notes in every folder. Don't look for the post-it notes. Have them there. Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me want to hit my own forehead, really.
This is my gift. This is my nugget. Have my nugget. That's not something I thought I'd say today.
You've got a 1-year-old.
I do. That's right.
Oh, they are. That's amazing. Sorry, I'm just a little flawed because it's just so logical and obvious, and never
Well, this
thought
is what
anything
happens
like that.
when you're like, this is your whole life, right? I don't have, it's not my full-time job. I don't have a full-time job, and then this is addition. I figure out ways to be lazy. Essentially, this is
No,
this is
no, efficient.
effective laziness. Yes,
No, it's
efficient
so
working.
that you can focus on being fabulous. You get this other
Yes,
stuff
that's right.
ticking over. The more
Take the
you,
mental load out of the way.
yeah, exactly. It's why I wear tie-dye.
Don't have to think
It's
about.
decision
Yep,
fatigue.
it's your uniform.
I don't, what am I wearing to school today? I'm wearing a tie-dye t-shirt. I mean, I know that that's going a bit extreme, but all you're
No,
doing
not
is
at all.
setting yourself up so you can be
Yep.
super effective next time.
Yes,
Bloody brilliant.
exactly.
Claire, thank you for your nuggets of fabulous. All right.
No problem.
All right. We need to talk before we go. We need to talk
Yes.
about advocacy, and then you get a chance to get on your soapbox at the end. But
Oh my
advocacy,
goodness.
anybody who knows me, my work, and what I do know that advocacy is a huge part, whether it's working for getting music educators in all our primary schools, or
Mm.
whether it's through Together Sing, where we're trying to promote
Mm.
how important singing together and making music and music education is. It's about telling people how important this is for our humans that we're responsible for, our little humans, our medium-sized humans. So I think in your job, you're actually in a
Mm.
position to be quite visible in your work, aren't you? So that could be
Yes.
an advantage to around advocacy. So what would you say to not just choral conductors, but music educators of all types? What advice would you give them around advocacy?
Yeah, yeah, it's it's a complicated one, isn't it? There are
Mm,
so many facets to it. And if it was a simple answer, um, I mean, if you want to get something done, ask a music teacher, right? So if it was simple, music teachers would have just done it and it would be not even a thought. So I always come back to community. And that is a community of colleagues. That's your community of students, your parental
mm.
community have a really, really strong, and I'm thinking in a school setting, I should
Yes,
say,
yes.
your parents have a lot of say. Um, and even just like the broader community, past students, the guy who owns the fish and chip shop down the road. It is hard to be dismissive of something that lots of people are enjoying and are a part of and um, are visibly supporting you. So any way that you can have, extend beyond the choir itself and bring people in to see it. I mean, some of the I'm just sorry, I'm just thinking of a past concert where we invited, not a concert, a rehearsal where we invited parents. No, oh my gosh, can you tell that I've not slept for a year? A past rehearsal where we invited teachers. It was an open rehearsal where
Oh,
we invited teachers to come and sit in and have a sing if they were feeling brave enough. And it just, the conversations after that experience, and look, it wasn't a huge amount of teachers because let's face it,
mm,
you're a teacher who wants to get up at 6 a.m. to get to a 7 o'clock rehearsal. Like, I get it. But the teachers who did attend, those conversations that I've had with them previous, like after that, it's just the appreciation for what they experienced. And not just, it's different than going to a concert. When you sit and watch a concert, you have a certain appreciation, but then when you are in with the students and you're singing and you can see the process to get to that concert, that is a new level
oh,
of appreciation. So any way that any opportunity that you can bring people in to experience what your choristers are experiencing is going to be really, really helpful. I can't remember what the speech was. It might have been a TED Talks. I don't know. I have this like reoccurring tidbit in my head after watching a speech that was talking about advertising and marketing, of all things. And it was talking about why Apple has been so successful in their marketing. And it was saying that Apple doesn't sell the what, it sells the why.
The why.
And that has always resonated with me. And, you know, we have all the research is there about how beneficial music is, how beneficial singing is. It's all there. And it's, you know, thanks to Anita Collins, it's become really easy to find and to package up and show to management and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes I think if we go too strongly down that path, it becomes too much the what and not enough the why. You know, we don't teach choir just because it improves academic performance. That's not the core purpose of singing in a choir. We sing in choir because it brings us joy, and joy is important, connection is important, community is important. So yes, that is my very long-winded advice for advocacy. I think the other thing too, if I'm just gonna continue on, is just to remember, like, I know how tough it is. I have lots of friends who are music teachers, and I know how tough it is on them. And just to, like, for those music teachers to remember that it's not you, like, it's not that you're not enough, or that your teaching isn't enough, or that the impact that you're making isn't a real impact. It's all there, that these decisions, curriculum decisions and stuff, are being made by someone who's in a nice air-conditioned office, who possibly hasn't been in a school for a long time. And while it does feel like a personal attack, it's not. And you don't have to hold on to the guilt. I know, like, my friends feel really guilty that they don't feel like they are fulfilling their potential, and it's not their fault. Mm-hmm. There we go. Yeah.
Very, very important to keep that in mind.
Very important.
Well, I've learnt lots, and I'm going to organise an open rehearsal for teachers and for parents. As we've I've talked about doing it with our instrumental teachers and having them sitting in the band, and we want to do that this year. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that imagine having the parents sitting in there with Kath Reilly doing a senior choir rehearsal. Like, the parents and the teachers' minds will be blown when they participate in what our kids participate in. Did you have them, so I'm going to ask a question just because I can. Did you have them sitting within the kids?
Yes.
You know, like,
so they were the choir.
And they sat probably beside their child if they were parents.
Yes. Or if the kid let them. Yeah.
If the kid
again, teenagers. You
know. Teenagers. Mum.
Hi, Mum. Just you go over there.
Over please, there. Mum.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
And other things that we do, we have an inter-school choir competition every year. So each house has to learn a pop song, and we have an afternoon, and so every single student in the school once a year sings, and we compete, like athletics day or swimming carnival day. And the other thing we do that sort of connects that community is every second year we have a community choir. We run a community choir that past students and parents are invited to come to, and they perform at a concert that their children perform at. So that's always really, really lovely. And a few times, I'm just thinking of one set of parents specifically. They lied to their to their daughter the whole rehearsal period. So every Wednesday night I've got a meeting, or I've got to work late, or so every Wednesday they'd come and I'd be like, okay, so what's the lie this week? And they'd tell me their like little excuse, and then they turned up to the concert and walked on stage, and the face of their daughter was just like a mix of excitement, pride, and absolute
horror.
Yeah. It was glorious. It lives in my memory that it was great.
Oh, I love it. And yes, a parent choir. It's so powerful. Oh, that's amazing.
So powerful.
Oh, Claire, I have so loved chatting to you. It's been nice.
Thank you.
I should have done it.
Right back at you.
Yeah, thank you. Should have done it a lot earlier. Thank you. Now, before we go, do you want to get on your soapbox? Finish off our chat by telling the world something. Everybody's listening. What do you want to tell them?
Oh my gosh. No pressure. Stay hydrated, people. It's hot.
Okay.
Yay. I think, and this is specific to music teachers, I think it is really important that at least once a year, if not multiple times a year, you get the opportunity to just be a musician. Join a choir, join a band, go to pub choir, be a part of ABC classic choir or whatever it might be. And remember why you decided to go down this path in the first place, because we were all that kid who found their place in the music program. We're all that kid. So if you can have any opportunity, take any opportunity to remind yourself of that version of yourself, and it will just lift your spirits. That's what I've found personally, that it's just lifted my spirits, and it helps with everything. That's my soapbox.
I love it, and it's a perfect way to finish. Thank you so much, Claire, and we will talk again.
Thanks, Deb. Bye.
As we know, laughter relieves stress. Don't lose sight of the funny side of life. If I wasn't a music teacher, inspecting mirrors is a job I could really see myself doing. Thank you so much for watching our Crescendo Music Education podcast. For more information about all things Crescendo, including membership and music education resources, visit us at crescendo.com.au. Don't forget to like and subscribe.